Oh, so that's how you do a wrestling show at the beginning of a cycle. Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus AEW Dynamite New Year's Smash Week 1, which took place on January 6th, 2021, or 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I'm excited. I actually got to catch the end of the Kyle O'Reilly Finn Balor match because NXT did a run over in an attempt to try to take some of AEW's thunder, and the end of the match was really great. And so was the Rey Fenix Kenny Omega match. The difference being the Kenny Omega match with Rey Fenix just led to a whole lot of craziness and a whole lot of mystery and a whole lot of angle. And the end of the Finn Balor match was Finn Balor staring at Kyle O'Reilly and the rest of the rest of his squad just kind of looking on. It's the fundamental difference right now between AEW and WWE as a whole. It's surprises and it's fascinating shit. And at first, it looked like Impact was going to get the better end of the deal of this Impact AEW thing. And now clearly it is AEW that is going to get the better end of the deal all around. But let's hear about this show. We got Jericho on commentary all night long with JR and Tony Schiavone. First match, SCU and the Bucks against the Acclaimed and TH2. Acclaimed actually had some decent rhymes this time. They make a Snoop Dogg reference in the negative, right? The match basically ends with Christopher Daniels having to come off with a moonsault into the tombstone. They called it the best Meltzer ever. Really good match, really good exhibition for all of the guys. Frankie Kazarian's look of intensity throughout this thing is so good. And this idea that, you know, if SCU loses a tag match, they have to split up. Really good stuff, really great opener. The Bucks, they're either main event or opening match, and I can see why, because they set the tone so well, and they're kind of proven ratings getter. And this is a show where they wanted to hook people early and keep them there. They're going up against NXT doing their New Year's Evil show, hosted by Dexter Lumis. I will watch that on DVR and have that report out, but I just have to talk about this thing. It was really great. They set up the card for the rest of the show. Your main event's going to be Kenny Omega against Rey Fenix, Shida defending against Abaddon. Snoop Dogg's going to be there. We're going to have Cody Rhodes against Matt Sydal. Sting's going to make an appearance. Jake Hager against Wardlow in the big men of the inner circle have to settle their differences thing. We're going to have a weigh-in with Darby Allin and Brian Cage, and John Moxley is going to make an appearance. We go to commercial. So we get a full great match, a rundown of the card, and then we go to commercial. See how that works? It's easy. We come back. Moxley cuts a hellified promo against Kenny Omega. He's Kenny Omega, don't turn your back, all that kind of good stuff. Great. Then we go to a promo, a little segment where Trent's injury is apparently going to take him out 4 to 5 months. Orange Cassidy is there with Trent's partner Chuck, Miro, Kip, Sabian and Penelope Ford show up, and the long and short of it is Chuck is going to take Miro on in a match, and Miro ropes him into the stipulation of if Chuck loses, he has to be Miro's young boy. Oof. Finally, something kind of interesting coming about this feud. And we move on to their second match. Jake Hager against Wardlow, really fucking great. A Danny Hodge reference made early because of Jake Hager's hometown by Jim Ross. Very nicely done. They get the split screen with the commercial. At the end of the day, it's Wardlow hitting that F10 in a match that looked great, and they made some kind of peace about it. Then we get a nice little segment with Private Party, where they have gin, but they don't know where the juice is, and Snoop Dogg brings them the juice. And then Matt Hardy comes out and gets them to sign 30% of their life away, basically, on a contract, which is a little unsettling. And Snoop is there, looking much more useful than the Legends did on Raw. Sad, but true. Then we get the Brian Cage weigh-in. We show a vignette of all the stuff that he's done to Darby Allin over the weeks and months. Go to commercial, and we come back. Darby's there. Brian Cage weighs in at 272. Darby at 170, so he's got an over 100-pound weight advantage. A very clever thing to sort of set up. The censor, who's supposed to be censoring out all this bad language, is a beat slow all night long with everybody. Just when it looks like Team Taz is going to jump Darby, out comes Sting, and nothing comes of it. Again, and I know people are getting frustrated about the Sting thing. All I can say is they're getting a lot of mileage with a bunch of nothing, but whatever the payoff is with whatever Sting ends up doing, it better be good. MJF in a nice little segment with Hager, who's kind of pitching a fit backstage, and MJF calms him down and explains that he's still great, he's still undefeated in mixed martial arts, etc., etc., etc. It's a nice moment where MJF is kind of getting in good with everybody. It's smart storytelling, and it's going on week after week, and that way, whatever they end up doing with this MJF in the Inner Circle thing, it will feel a natural result of what they have established, which is nice. Cody, with Snoop Dogg as his ringside partner, is going to be going against Matt Sydal. Cool. We go to commercial. When we come back, we show the thing from Dark with the -1 Brody Lee Jr. cutting a promo against Marco. And then Marco is there with the rest of Jurassic Express, but FTR with Tully bust in and basically challenge them to a match. Marco says, I'm going to take the big guy's place, meaning Luchasaurus, and it's going to be he and Jungle Boy against FTR, which seems exactly what FTR wanted. This addressing the thing of Marco being the kind of most useless one is a natural way to go with this angle, and I'm happy that they've got it going on. Match number 3, Matt Sydal against Cody Rhodes. It's a good match, as one would expect. In the course of the match, Cody accidentally hits Serpentico, and I think to myself immediately, they're going to do something with this. And sure enough, Cody Rhodes eventually wins with 2 crossroads on Matt Sydal. Serpentico hits the ring with Luther, and they start laying waste to everybody. But Matt Sydal joins the fun, and soon they get the advantage on Serpentico, and then they put him, and Snoop hits the most awkward. It looked like a baby giraffe being born and falling out of the womb of its mother. That's what that splash looked like. It looked like shit, and I hated this segment. I hated using Snoop in this way. But it is what it is. Commercial break. We come back. Abaddon against Hikaru Shida. Way better than it had any right to be. Shida really did her level best to make this thing work. Abaddon worked within her incredibly limited means. But Abaddon still couldn't stop herself from fucking something up. And at the end, Hikaru Shida was supposed to roll her through with a sunset flip. Abaddon fucked that up, but Shida followed with the knee to the face and got the pin. After having to overcome bleeding and getting bit and all the shenanigans under the ring and taking a variety of different beatings, the punches of Hikaru Shida, by the way, the best of any woman wrestler that I know right now. Really fucking good. We're going to get Darby and Cage next week. We're going to get Chuck Taylor against Miro with if Chuck Taylor loses, he has to be the young boy. We're going to get the NWA Women's Champion Serena Deeb defending against Tay Conti. And then we have a little promo here where she's going to have Dark Order support from her tag team partner and friend, Anna Jay. And then John's going to be there, Silver and his partner Reynolds. Great. The Elite are going to be in action, which they sort of believe. I do love fucking foreshadowing, folks. I do love it. And nothing's kind of made of it. They say it, and it's like, oh, okay. Does that include Kenny Omega? I don't know. Jungle Boy and Marco against FTR, and then Pac against Eddie Kingston. Woo! Nice. And they're going to have an edition of The Waiting Room with Britt Baker, which they did not have on Dark, but they're going to have it next week with Cody. And we're going to have Omega and Phoenix next. Commercial, we come back. Phoenix and Omega fucking tear it up. Boy, all that talk about, like, where's the Omega that's supposed to be so... That shit's gone, because this match was fucking bananas. I found myself yelling out loud repeatedly for some of the stuff Rey Fenix was doing in particular. At the end of the day... I mean, there's just so many spots to talk about, but really, that's not what I do. But you definitely want to check it out. Check out that fucking match and check out the aftermath. So Omega wins with the one-winged angel, and that's a great moment. And then he's going to put an end to Rey Fenix, and people are like, "Well, where's his partner? Where's Penta? Where's Pac?" And then they cut to the back where Butcher Blade and Eddie are beating them down. Uh-oh. So he prepares Phoenix for basically just ending his career. And Moxley comes out with the barbed wire bat. Great moment. Sort of lays waste to Omega for a while. But then, holy fuck, Gallows and Anderson show up and beat the fuck out of Moxley. And Omega starts getting his licks in with the bat. And then finally, the people at ringside, in particular Pillman Jr. and Garrison, try to attack, but they get beat up. And then all the guys from ringside just start going over the rail to try to get in there, but they can't get past Gallows and Anderson. It's chaos. It's brutal. Then the Bucks come to the ring trying to reason with Gallows and Anderson. Pillman and Garrison grab a hold of Omega so the Bucks could do something to them, and the Bucks instead super kick Pillman Jr. and Garrison. Uh-oh. Then Gallows and Anderson and Omega put up the too sweet. Do the Bucks join them? You're damn right they do. You can look at the picture that I'm putting up right now. Holy shit. That, folks, is how you start the year off right. And again, the AEW's momentum. It's a joyous show. It's an interesting show. And it's a show that makes weaknesses into strengths. When they had to delay everything a week because of the Brody Lee tribute show, which was absolutely gorgeous, now it looks like it was the plan all along. And it looks like they've kicked off this new year in a crazy, crazy way. And now the Elite being in action, as they announced before the main event, takes on a whole different meaning. This is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus Dynamite.